Hi, I'm Zoe Sipes from Bliss Yoga, and I wanted to talk to you today about this book, The Yapana Way by Leanne Carey. Yapana is the style of yoga that Leanne has developed over her years of teaching. It's kind of a combination of different styles like Iyengar Yoga, Judith Lassiter's teaching, and a few other teachers, a few other big names out there. But it's a really good way of thinking about yoga differently. Instead of seeing a picture of a pose and thinking, how can I shape this person's body into the closest approximation of that pose, it's kind of a way of thinking, how can I take the benefits of this pose and bring them to the person. So it's a little bit different, a little less challenging for most students, and a little more therapeutic in nature. Her book, The Yapana Way, is mostly about restorative yoga. The introduction is great for any teacher though, whether or not, whatever kind of yoga you teach, it might give you some things to think about. And it's got a lot of great information for restorative yoga teachers. So once you get past the introduction, you get to information about her recommendations for props and how to use them. You get into the meat of the book is the actual poses themselves. So these are what she calls being poses, and they are poses that are fully supported. So students rest on blocks. She's got lots of different variations of each pose. So there are ways to make the poses bigger, more expressive, and there are ways to make the poses a little more accessible for students. What I really have loved about this book, now that I've kind of let it sit with me for a little while, is that it's helped me become more creative as a teacher. It's kind of given me the framework, or some background into how she's thought about bringing these poses to students, and now I can come up with ways on my own. I can see the spaces that need filled with props and ways to help support the students in these poses. So again, this is really great for restorative yoga, but it's good for any teacher, especially for the introduction. We have this book here at the studio. You can stop in and browse through it. You can buy it here if you like, or you can buy it on Amazon as well. Leanne is coming to Bliss Yoga to do a training on restorative yoga, and it will be July 11th through 13th, 9 to 5 each day, so it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can register on her website. I've got a link to it. I'll post a link with this video, and I've also got a link on our website. So if you go to www.blissyogaevansville.com, check out the upcoming events, and you'll find it there on that page. I also wanted to show you something that I've learned from Leanne that's really exciting to me. I use it a lot in classes. It's a head-free headstand. So Leanne has a website. It's leannecareyyoga.com. She has a lot of videos on modifying poses or making poses, the essence of poses, more accessible or more understandable to students. And my favorite is head-free headstand. It's really easy to do, and it's great for students who want to do headstand but have neck injury or have a little bit of apprehension about putting weight on their head. It's a really great learning tool because when you're up in the pose, you're not struggling so much to stay upright. So you can kind of relax a little bit. You have some time to assess how you feel, how your posture feels, where you might be leaning, where you feel strength, where you feel maybe a little bit of weakness. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I have two stacks of blocks, 3 blocks high for me, set on the short side. If you are more than 5.5 feet tall, you might want 4 blocks, just depending on the length of your neck and the size of your head. But 3 blocks is kind of a good place to start for most people. There's a space between the blocks. That's where my head goes. My shoulders are going to be on top of the blocks. I've got the blocks on a sticky mat so they don't slip away from the wall, and they're up next to the wall so that I can put my feet on the wall once I get up. This is not a first-time yoga student's pose. If you have never done a headstand before, I encourage you, and you want to, I encourage you to go to a class, talk to a yoga teacher, let them help you into the pose, let them help explain some of the skills that are needed and help you get there. It's a little hard to kick the feet up into the wall at home alone, so having the help of a teacher is really useful. I'm going to show you how to get in the pose. It's just like normal tripod headstand, so Salamba Shasana 2. I'll bring my hands behind the blocks. I'm gonna bend my elbows. My elbows are gonna stay shoulder width apart here. Put my head between the blocks. Shoulders are on top of the blocks. I'm gonna press my hips up toward the floor and walk my toes in. So some students might just stay here. Just kind of getting used to this. This openness in the hamstrings can be a challenge for a lot of students. When you're ready, you can lift one leg. Gonna play with that for a while. When you're ready, you might lift both legs up to the wall. So again, this is head-free headstand. There is space under my head. My head is not touching the floor. I can push down into my shoulders a little bit to feel that strength in the arms. Elbows are shoulder width apart. Hands are shoulder width apart. You can bring the feet away from the wall and kind of play with this balance. Feel what happens with the body. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready to come out, you can bring knees to chest if you like. And slowly come all the way down. So there's the head-free headstand. It's really a restorative version of headstand. It makes headstand a lot more comfortable, a lot safer for the neck, especially if you have any instability of the core or the cervical spine. I encourage teachers to give it a shot. I think you might find it well received by students. It can be kind of challenging to balance on the shoulders if you're not used to it, so it might feel kind of weird at first. But it's nice, a nice little inversion you could try. If you want to learn more poses for restorative yoga, definitely check out Leanne's book, The Yapana Way. Her website is an excellent resource as well. It's www.leannecareyyoga.com. It's LEEANNCAREY yoga.com. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a good time.